Joe. Olympian.
Yeah.
Joe Rau.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Joe, there were years where you qualified, at the Olympic trials and then, didn't get to win this tournament. There were other years where it was vice versa, but now you have done both. What does that mean to you?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I've really hit this tournament from all angles. Winning it, not having it qualified, qualifying it, not winning it, and now being the guy that comes in and tries to steal the spot. And the bittersweet thing is, like, I love Alan and I know what that feels like too. So really, I kind of came into this tournament this year just knowing that anything could happen, but I had a fight to get my soul back. I retired and me and my wife talked a lot, and I wasn't happy, and I don't think I ever was until I really came back and saw what my destiny was. And I was talking to myself, telling myself this would come true, and actually the year that it was supposed to be here, I dropped my wife off at the airport. After we got married, I drove to Penn State, and I told myself, this is where I'm going to make the Olympic team. And then the Olympic trials wasn't here. So it was true what I told myself, it just was going to take 4 years.
When did you retire?
I retired after 2021.
And what made you?
I came back and wrestled freestyle, so I was retired from Greco, but really I told myself I was done for good. And really what kind of brought me back was like the support of my wife and my family, and I got a coaching job in Northwestern. And the first thing I told Stoniolo, who's given me so many opportunities, is that, like, I don't want it. I don't want to be on the mats. I don't want to be anywhere. And as soon as you say that, everybody's giving you opportunities and asking you to come and, coach and being a D3 guy, being a D1 coach is just unbelievable. But I was just heartbroken, so that really is what pulled me back in,
Did coaching help you with your technique and maybe some of the other stuff, that maybe you didn't get previously?
Absolutely. I mean, I was wrestling with Lucas Davison every day, and you guys saw how he wrestled. He's a giant beast. I retired and I stopped doing the right things, and I came in to coach Luke, and he's beating the crap out of me. So I had to start training again just to coach him, and him and his brother really kind of saved me, because I was in a dark place, and like the relationship with them and their family, and really investing in them and the rest of the team, it really kind of like brought me back into the sport and believing that good things could happen.
Have you ever told those guys that?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And what were your thoughts of his performance at NCAAs?
I was so proud of him, and I came back from 3 months in Europe and I got food poisoning, and my dad went to the hospital, and I was taking care of his sick dog, so I was like, I don't know if I'm going to make NCAAs, but I had to do it, and I drove through the night after practice, and I was able to make his finals match. I wish I was there for the whole thing, but it's just so special. Again, just see good things happen to good people that work hard.
Can you talk about that moment you and Alan shared at the end when you guys hugged each other?
I was just telling him sorry. I know what it feels like, and I didn't want to make an Olympic team at the expense of him not making one. And it just he's one of the best guys in the sport. Literally, anytime you beat him, I never did until now, but I've heard every time somebody's beat him, the first thing he says is, let me know if you need anything, if I could help. And that's the kind of guy he is, and he's such a good person with such a crazy story coming from Cuba, and just a phenomenal wrestler. And I've never been able to freaking score on the guy. He's so good, and such a hard matchup for me. But we were just basically telling each other that we love each other, and he told me I deserve it, and I just told him sorry. I didn't want to take it from him.
How did you want to do after losing match one to come back?
I was so upset. I think if it wasn't for Brian Graham and Brian Medlin, the two Brian coaches in my corner, I don't think I would have got my head out of my butt, because after last trials and having a really bad first match, I couldn't get my head back in it. I was and this is almost like dealing with the traumatic experience for me coming back here and getting this out, but it's something I had to do. But they really kind of talked me through it, and for once I listened. I'm really freaking stubborn. I was listening to what Medlin was saying and what Brian was saying, and because I can just get into a real spiral of ruminating, I screwed up, and I'm I'm an idiot, I hate myself, and they're just no, you're fine. It didn't go your way, but whoever wins the second match is going to make the Olympic team. They're telling me that, and they're telling me all these positive things, and I didn't want to be positive, but getting older, I'll take people's advice that I trust. So that's a work in progress.
How long did you coach at Northwestern for?
2 years. I was an RTC guy there for a couple years, and then I went to University of Illinois and worked with Bronigal, and then I went back to Northwestern as a coach for 2 years, and I left last August. I left like right around Final X because I just was like, hey guys, I love you guys. I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. You just lost another coach because Joe Cologne left, and I was like, I don't want to do the same thing, but I can't do this halfway. If I'm truly going to go out there and find my destiny and like do this right, and honestly, it was hard to go on living after the last trials. And then the first trials was hard too. I didn't qualify the weight, and I really kind of took that in my heart as a huge failure. And I just addressed the team and like, you guys know better than anyone. You can't do this halfway. So I need to go somewhere where there's full-time Greco training. And that's why, because of Coach Herb House, I got to, the Olympic Training Center and I put in full-time Greco work.
What's your wife's name?
Astrid.
Astrid?
Yeah, Astrid de Leeuw.
Okay.
Means the lion. She's Belgian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any other close family members that support you?
I just want to thank everybody that's here. I got my friend Gooball here from college. My coach Brian Graham, he used to be my teammate, and he's the kind of guy that he let me sleep on his couch for $100 when I was starting my senior level career, and everybody said I was crazy being a D3 guy. He's the kind of guy when my car broke down, he drove, and he came with the tank of gas. He's the kind of guy when I was like depressed on my birthday because I wasn't with my family and I had no money, that he came and brought me a little cupcake. That's the kind of guy he is, and I knew that if I came back in wrestling, I just wanted somebody that I can trust, that's a good person, that I know no matter what, they're there for me, and Brian's like a brother. And so is Coach Medlin. He's been with me since high school. So I just wanted two people that I knew I could really trust, and those guys have been through everything with me. So, yeah, I just want to thank those guys.
Can you tell me about your tattoos?
Oh, this is my friend. He died actually right before Olympic trials. His name was Kyle Harper, and it was the last thing he texted me. And I was kind of complaining to him about wrestling, and he just said, no one's perfect, it's all right, you're going to get it back. And I didn't know he was on the verge of dying, and he died, and that was the last conversation we had. So it looks like a cheesy tattoo, but it has a lot of meaning to me. And then this is, I never won a big tournament in my life, and I told my brother, who's all tatted up, that I'm never going to get a tattoo unless I win something big. I never won state, nothing, and I won Fargo out of nowhere, so he's like, tattoo? I was 18, and I was like, all right, this is the Chicago flag with four-leaf clovers, so it's like a Chicago Irish thing, so yeah.
So when did you get the No One's Perfect tattoo? Really recently?
I was 25, so it was right before 2016. Yeah, it was either 2016 or 2017. It was right around trials, sometime around there. I had 3 really close friends die of heroin overdoses all around the same time, and so it's kind of a tribute to them. That's like, if it wasn't for the sport of wrestling, that's like, as crazy as it sounds, that might have been the road I went down. That's like, we lost way too many people to that in my neighborhood, so. Yeah. What's that? It's in Chicago. Yeah, it's close to Norwood Park, close to the O'Hare Airport. Yeah, it's a little neighborhood nobody's heard of. Yeah, Gladstone. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I got. I'm just very grateful to everybody, pulled me back in the sport, and my coaches and Titan Mercury, and they've had unwavering support of me as well, and I'm just a super lucky guy today, and it's good to have one of those days for once,
Last question: are you going to get a tattoo of the Olympic team trials?
I'm gonna get the Olympic rings after I wrestle in the Olympics, because I heard that some people get the tattoo before the games and then they break their leg or something. Don't want any bad juju. Yeah.